school should not be required to force our children to wear a mask. Another thing, I come because along with wherever I put my mask, my lipstick, you can see it, which means along with that lipstick is anything I have eaten, any bacteria I have come in contact with today, it sticks to this mask. Florida did a test. One day, 6 masks. 11 bacteria were on that mask. Pneumonia was one of them. Pneumonia can sink into our children faster than anything. They are finding that most people getting sick are not sick from COVID. Tests are not reliable. They have already proven that. You can check it out. People in other countries that are actual presidents or whatever you want to call them did it on animals and fruit, and they came back positive. So we cannot trust even a single test to tell us if we are sick with COVID or not. The medical dictionary lists COVID as a common cold. That is the same as the flu. I don't even take the flu shot. I don't need it. I don't even give it to my children. The youngest you see in the Minnie Mouse dress has an autoimmune disorder. This mask makes it 10 times more difficult for her to breathe because you are taking 20% of her oxygen from her. I also have her blood work test from this year. They show within the 30 to 45 minute time that she wore a mask at the doctor's office, her carbon monoxide level was way too high. Scientific tests have proven that our children need oxygen at 100% level to fully function, learn, and operate the full value of their brain. Can you please look at me, ma'am? Thank you.
I'm sorry, I was taking notes about what you were saying.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, but it kind of makes me feel like you're,
I'm sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. I appreciate it. Gluten. I know I've told you about her problem, Mr. Lowley. Gluten for my daughter is poison in her body. She has already had one issue in school this year, where she came home so sick, she projectile vomited in my living room. My daughter, in the 4 years since her diagnosis of celiac disease, has never once had that problem. I make sure to a vigorous extent that her diet is maintained at all times. I understand I've talked about the rest of that with you. I won't get into that. But when she has this mask on, she's glutened. That gluten is now on this mask. That gluten is now consistently entering her body. In and out, in and out. That makes her 10 times more likely to destroy her small intestine, as the small fingers that absorb her nutrition die off, because that is what happens to a celiac patient. Our children are the ones that are suffering. They don't want these masks on. You have high schools full of children walking out in protests. You have schools in this state that are giving the shot without consenting the parents. These are medical decisions. You didn't give us any other option. I had to go and beat around the bush to make sure shields were accommodations for my children, because I will not stick this on their face. Another thing, do you know how much you're making off our children in this state? $4.5 million to force a mask on our children in government funding. I hope that stink says our children are worth almost $3,000 a piece to you, because my child is not a dollar sign. Thank you.